King Alcohol has many forms by which he catches man. He is a beast of many horns, and ever thus has been.
For there's rum,
And gin,
and beer, and wine,
and brandy of logwood hue,
and hawk,
and port,
and flip, combined
to make a man look blue.
He says be merry,
For his good sherry,
and Tom and Jerry,
champagne and perry,
and spirits of every hue. Oh, are not these a fiendish crew, as ever a mortal knew? Oh, are not these a fiendish crew? As ever a mortal knew, King Alcohol is
Tally, or is that
Mr.
Hanky?
Huh?
That was Mr. Hanky.
Mr. Hanky, yeah.
That's Mr. Hanky.
It's the Christmas brew.
Hey, what's up?
On that note.
Sometimes I started on time and you know, or early enough to capture a few little things, and it's always kind of funny. No cowboy here tonight, but you know.
Thank God.
Welcome to another round of the Blind Pig, the Blind Pig Confessions. We had Cowboy on finally, you know.
Yeah,
show or two ago.
That was fun.
Mr. and Mrs. Cowboy. Yeah, it ended up being a good night. But we're back in the Blind Pig garage at this point.
Yep. Yeah, not the patio, but
no, it's a little. It was a little windy and a little bit chilly. You know, it's gonna get a little chilly. In another couple of weeks, we'll be able to open up the patio, the Blind Pig Patio, and get the, fire rolling and
it's
all
really
kinds of
nice
other
out
stuff.
there. You guys would love it. Too
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
sorry.
you guys get the garage tonight.
Yeah, last time none of you get to go out there. It's a mess right now. I'm not reassembled from the last gasp of winter yet, which is kind of what we're going with tonight.
Yeah, that's what we're going with actually, because we're doing it's still kind of a shitty week, kind of cool with like 20 degrees in the morning and
snowed.
it's still I don't know, but it was kind of nice day, sun's out, but 56 something like that. But
yeah,
it's still a good day for some stouts and porters.
Yes,
because summer's gonna be coming along before too long here, and it's gonna be. I still like porter. I mean, in the house at night, I'll do stout and porter still in the summertime, but it's definitely not stout weather in the summer. But right now,
you're not going to sit out you're not going to mow the yard with with a good old fashioned KBS.
Warm, flat porters in the hot sun. Nothing better.
50%, yeah.
Porter was a bad idea.
It's not. There's nothing refreshing about it.
Yeah.
Out on the mower or on the boat or anything in the middle of the summer. It's just not that way. So, rounding up some of our last stouts and stuff, and some of the stuff you've had in collection. Also,
I have a lot of beer. So
he still has a lot of beer. He hasn't been drinking enough of it.
Need some help drinking it. Yeah. So let's do a stout night, and gonna have some Guinness sliders here in a while, and enjoy the night.
So I'm Paulie G, and we got Dougie Fresh here. Grizz is back. Yeah. We had to exchange Cowboy for Grizz. I'm not sure where the hell Grizz has been for the last 6 months or whatever.
He doesn't even know.
No, not at all.
And the boys from Wolfoose.
We back.
We're loose.
What's up?
Yeah, he just check out our last show post, and you'll see Jaren's animated GIF, because this goes well with the show. They just
you gotta watch it the whole time you listen to it.
I'm doing it right now.
I need to go onto YouTube and replace the regular pig image with just that one.
Yeah.
So it's not a video really on YouTube. It's still our audio, but
You could do the Night of Roxbury thing, but you have the pig head going and my head going.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Now we just have to find someone who can actually animate the pig head, because we're all pretty much technically challenged.
I think Cowboy could do that.
But we got to get him to.
Time and shit, but
we got to get him to, and all you know how to do is Instagram and stuff. So.
Wait, can't Jessica do that kind of shit?
We do have some friends. Yeah, I guess we should. We might have to call in some favors.
Yeah.
Jaren and Logan from Wolfoose.
It's great to be back, guys. I can't honestly believe you invited us back, because the last one we started getting a little wild at the end.
Me either. Don't worry.
The last half.
You had chaperones last. Well, I'm a little more worried this time because you don't have chaperones.
I got my DD, my brother over here.
Well, you got to remember, Jaren's wife wasn't there. He started getting a little too loose, and I don't think she's going to listen to the podcast.
Has she listened to it yet?
Yeah, we listened to it together, actually.
All right.
That was part one, though.
Part one.
Don't let her know part two.
Well, it's funny, too, because I didn't even realize. I thought you guys were in Rochester. So I was telling him, I was like, next time we're in South Bend, we'll have to invite him over for a show, because we do South Bend shows. And he's like, they live in Indy. I'm like, what?
I know. Didn't you listen to the show?
No, I edited it. And
I don't.
Too much beer, you know?
I missed that.
I think I've only ever listened back to 5 of our shows out of 231.
Well, I mean, after I edited, I did. But when we were talking about it, it's like the day after. I was like, yeah, that was fun. And
it's like, no, they drove up too. You know, it's just their mom lived here or whatever. So up there.
She's a saint.
Yeah, I'll bet. She's like, oh my God, drunken boys in the house again. Yay.
Mom, we're coming to crash, and that's it. See you in 2 months.
But I was impressed with the beer. You guys made some good beer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And,
real good.
That was good.
Did you guys brew lately?
Yep,
What
we
was the
did
last
10 more gallons of the Wolf Moon, actually,
Okay.
which we would have brought some, but we just bottled it, so, I mean, it's not
No,
quite
it's not
ready.
really
We're
ready.
gonna-
Right.
Yeah.
So you've got to pop it open and put the sugar in this time?
Funny enough, I did just drink some of that porter
Okay, good.
before I left. The flat one we
Yeah,
talked
still
about.
hasn't carbonated?
Still isn't carbonated, but I will say the taste got better. Weirdly,
yeah.
it's just still flat, so you know how that goes.
We still use our Jedi mind powers every time
Still
now.
trying to magically make shit
I mean,
carbonate.
again, when I opened it, I was just still thinking, this time it's gonna be carbonated.
Well, and I think, as we said before, if it carbonates, something's wrong with it. If it does carbonate in the bottle,
Yeah. Yeah.
something's wrong. And that's not carbonation. That's mold or some kind of growth that is generating.
drink that one.
Well, hey,
yeah,
something's
don't
better than
drink
nothing.
Well, we're going to start with a little Braxton.
Ooh, we're going to dig in.
Well, yeah, it's in front of us, so let's do it. Braxton Brewing Company, I believe they're out of Cincinnati.
Did you read it before you pour it?
No.
Damn, he always hands it to me
It's
to read.
coffee vanilla. It's dark charged, so this is kind of like of course, when the big Dark Lord Day, everybody else in the world started jumping onto that bandwagon. So they do a dark charge day, and this is part of the series. And I think they do. I know they do different ones every year.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know how many to do. I know they did at least 3 because I have a coffee vanilla, a tiramisu, and I think there's just a vanilla one. So this is from
Coffee vanilla.
2020.
Yeah,
This is the coffee vanilla.
Yeah. They're in Covington, Kentucky.
Oh, Covington, Kentucky?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
That's what Google says.
All right.
Jeez, man, where did you think they were from?
Cincinnati.
No.
That's probably close.
Yeah. Cincinnati, Covington, same thing. All right. But, so, yeah, this is their part of their series. I think this is 2020, right? I believe it's 2020 series. Yeah. So this was from the
We're
last
going-
dark charge day.
We're going hard on these early because this is a 11%er.
Well, it's a-
right?
it's a big-
13%er. I'm sorry.
It's a big step.
So we're gonna start at the top and work our way
Yeah.
down. Maybe, I don't know, because I'm not sure what the Wolfoose boys brought. So we'll have to see.
Smells sticky.
There is one. I think Darren, you brought one that said, "I don't like this." Here.
Don't you love that? That's the big
Which
thing.
is like we talked about earlier, which is off the mic, but which is what happens in my garage. Is I have a whole fridge, half a fridge full of leftovers.
It helps you know what
Yeah.
you don't like.
Yeah.
To be fair, someone may like it though.
Yeah, somebody.
Probably not, but
Yeah.
someone might.
True.
The same with bourbon too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
True,
Yep.
true.
That
There's
is
somebody
yes,
out there
that
that likes it.
is. It's sad, but yeah. All
Ooh,
right,
I get,
so,
it's the aroma is very sweet, but I get a big hit of espresso coffee.
Oh yeah, the espresso is
coffee.
there heavy on that one.
I just smell heavy chocolate, but then when you taste it, it tastes like
Yeah, you
almost
get
like
that
an
coffee.
espresso.
and
Hard
then,
coffee.
the sweetness comes at the end,
I
but
love those though, because I prefer the coffee with a little bit hint of chocolate rather than the straight up super sweet, chewy.
yeah, and I'll tell
candy.
you, I was worried because I thought it was going to be very sweet.
Yeah,
and
honestly,
chewy, but it's not.
going into it, I really thought it was going to be punchy in the face
Yeah.
sweet, but
Yeah.
because it smells like it. It
Yeah.
smells
Well-
like straight candy.
Well, for an imperial stout, it tends to get stickier.
got
But
really
yeah, they
good
did a
mouthfeel.
good balance.
Yeah.
On
It's,
that.
it's almost light on the tongue, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
when you get to those higher percentages, they tend to get syrupy.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yep.
the
Yep.
last episode I brought one and it was like very syrupy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yep.
like maple syrup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually pleased and surprised that that's how light that is.
Yeah.
Really.
I think we got it
Big
at a
fan.
good temperature too, though.
Yeah.
Because I think you let it. It's not too cold either. Which
No,
is
and
nice.
it did. I know. They did say that, or a few people had commented saying to drink it at room temperature.
Yeah.
So, and some you do, some you want a little bit colder, but they did say this one room temp, and it's actually pretty damn good.
That
Actually
makes a big
pleased.
difference,
Oh, yeah.
whether if it's cold, warm, room temperature, or whatever.
Yeah, it does make a difference. I like the people that put it on their labels because some you want that 56 degrees, or some you want room, some you want a little bit colder. So it's nice when they put it on the bottles, but
You get a
kinda-
lot more of the flavors when it's
sits out a little bit. You get a little
not
bit,
as cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it gets really cold, it kind of takes those flavors away
Yeah.
a little bit.
I was trying to see what bourbon barrels they put it in, but I can't find anything on which barrels they used.
You got anybody get just when they go to a bar and you see somebody putting a beer in an ice mug? Doesn't that just
That pisses.
Get you off a little
like?
bit.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
How cold can you get it?
We'll have that story a little later if we bust out one of the what Logan brought. 'Cause remember what the keg of
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's a KBS story. We'll get there. That
Oh,
just gives it
okay.
away now
I
at
was
this
like,
point.
what the heck did I bring?
As we talk about that, yeah. Like nothing like pouring KBS into a nice ice cold frosty mug.
Was it a full mug though?
16 ounces.
Yeah.
Oh well, at least it was 16
at
ounces.
least-
They
yes.
poured you a 16 ounce
yeah.
of.
For like $4. Spectacular.
What?
It's great. God love her.
Did you
God
leave
love her.
walking or crawling?
God love her for that, but woo.
Yeah. My brother, what the hell was he? He was up in South Bend somewhere, and he texted me and then called me. He's like, hey, it's like, you got to get up here. I'm in Indianapolis. He's like, you got to get up here. These idiots are serving, it was like a 15% beer. And it's just a bar, and they were serving it for $6 or something in a big 16 ounce or 20 ounce mug. You get for the 20 ounces for like $4 or $5. He's like, yeah, get up here. I'm like, I'm in India, knucklehead. But like 2 hours later, I'm trying to text him. I can't get a hold of him. He was fucking.
Well, that's
toast.
that's one of Clark's first.
Here we go.
No,
Well, you can tell it. I mean, it's fine. But
No,
Clark,
you go ahead.
one
You
of
guys
Clark's
tell it
original
better.
days. No, one of Clark's original when he first started drinking
Beer.
craft beer, not just beer, craft beer.
we turned him on to Dragon's Milk.
Dragon's Milk, yeah. And then
It
first,
catches up on you pretty quick.
Well, this is what happened. At the time I lived 30 seconds from the bar. And
just
I
a
went,
random bar, but yeah.
the wife was gone, kids were gone. I'm going to go down to the bar, have a couple of drinks, and have something to eat. I went down there, looked at the list. I went, no, I don't want that shit beer. I don't want that shit beer. Dragon's Milk.
Oh, I know what Dragon's Milk is.
I know what that is. $4.50.
Oh my god!
They're running it on tap.
I ran them out.
That was
I
on,
lost
that was a
count.
tap, right? It was on
Yes.
tap too.
Oh my gosh!
That's 16-ounce mugs.
I lost count.
And consciousness.
That's a great
And
night.
all I remember is I went there with like $150, and I think I had $55 left.
Yeah.
Was that just all beer, no food?
Did you make it
probably
home?
some
I
food.
spent about $15 on food.
But yeah, they're just pouring him 16-ounce glasses of Dragon's Milk, and he's still new to this because this was in the early days when because we'd give out the samples to the sample of this, and he does it like a shot, not just savor and taste and and all that. But yeah, the Dragon's Milk kind of it's like that's like what was that 10, 11%?
I think it's 10 or 11.
10,
Yeah, but
I think it's
so
11.
yeah, he was just like, oh, this stuff's great, and then
I think it's 11%.
after a while, you just kind of get
An hour later.
screwed. Yeah, but
the
it was
benefit
great
of going
price.
to
But
those
it's those
dives.
people. It's when they don't really know what they got and realize that that's not a 16-ounce pour.
That's also a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah,
props to you for taking them up
Hey,
on
they
it.
never got it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because the profit margin would have been horrible on what they were selling it for. It's like we're not making any money on this.
Someone's
well, that's
messing up.
because you done messed up.
The ignorance brought you
Yeah.
bliss.
Yeah,
Yes.
their ignorance brings me
Forgetful
bliss.
I was happy.
Yeah, oh shit. Yeah.
Did you make it home?
Somehow.
I
The
remember.
stutter.
I
somehow.
remember
Yes, you
swerving all the way across the street.
Nope, you didn't say that.
I don't.
He's walking.
Yes, you got. Oh yeah, he was stumbling all the way over.
Riding a bike.
Yeah, fat chance on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I remember those. Yeah, it's always fun when you can find a place that's dishing out high grav without paying attention to it,
God bless him.
or serving high grav in something more than a 10-ounce sniffer.
Yeah.
Or 12-ounce sniffer for because people will pay $6-7 for a 10-ounce, 12-ounce, 10-ounce sniffer
sure.
of a 10 or 11, 13%er, and your profit margin goes way up. But yeah.
Well, and sometimes it comes down to not their actual bar. It comes down to the bartender
They don't
of just
know.
not
Yeah.
knowing.
Yeah.
Because I had
Yeah.
that when I was working at a place here in Indy, and there was one bartender we had a really high grav one on. And it was supposed to be in a little sniffer or snifter, and the whole night
Yeah, they don't
was
know.
16 ounces. Well, and of course, those people were getting the 16 ounces, same as you, just kept getting them because they knew. I mean, as a server, I'm not going to say anything because I was like, yeah, this guy's going to tip me well because he's
Yeah.
going to be tanked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shit. No, first beer's good. I like
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
man,
no
it's a
complaints
good
on it,
job.
honestly.
Good start on that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read more on it, but
I don't feel like the vanilla's overpowering either.
No,
It
not
just
at all.
supports
That's what
it.
it's
Well, and the barrel's not either. That's the thing.
No,
Some of those
no.
barrels can
Yeah.
really hit you in the
Yep.
face,
Well,
and this
yeah.
is
a barrel imperial stout tends to pull a lot of that in, and it gets a little burny. And yeah,
Yep,
it's-
I agree.
It's
Yeah,
it's
very
got
good.
solid characteristics.
good.
Maybe it's the Madagascar vanilla that's a little more subtle than the fake vanilla. Most of them, a lot of
Yeah.
people
Oh,
use.
the
Yeah.
The
vanilla.
extract.
God.
Yeah.
or they use the generic vanilla beans, not really good. That's got to be expensive.
Well, there's just a lot of places that don't know moderation either. Like if they're gonna do it, they go overboard with it, which can be too much too.
Balance.
It's all, as you guys have said, it's a balance, and we strive for that and repeat that and hope people will hear it every time. Kitschy ones are fun, I guess, here and there, but if you want something long lasting, man, you gotta have a good clean notes, good nose on it, and easy. Just an easy drinker. And this is a nice, easy drinker for a 13%er.
Yeah, I mean, you don't taste the burn of the alcohol at all. And that's crazy to me that it's 13% and you don't get any of it.
I worry if Clark can find this on tap somewhere. He might die.
We might not see it for a while. Disappear again.
16-ounce mugs of 16-ounce pours of Dark Charge are on sale right now.
I'll be like, can I bring in a bucket?
Yeah. First to put the beer in. Yeah, first to put the beer in, and then for me to throw up into.
You guys do pictures of this?
I wonder if you could talk him into a pitcher of dragon's milk, for the same price. That'd be awesome.
Penny pitcher night.
Yeah, penny pitcher night on dark. Yeah, it's Dark Lord penny pitcher night. Penny pitcher.
They have those anymore anywhere?
I don't know. What? No, because
it's usually 50 cents now.
Not in Indiana.
50 cents.
But it's the cheap light beers.
I remember going to. I remember because I think I was working for a radio station at the time. Either that or it was just in my DJing days. But there was a bar that opened up that had penny, drink night or whatever, because they weren't allowed to give free drinks out. And then, all the tables were and the bars were just covered in pennies. Anyways, so it was penny drink night, and
you just pick the penny up.
Yeah, it was take a penny, leave drunk.
Yep. It's a win-win.
Nobody put a penny back. It wasn't a take a penny, leave a penny thing. It was
where did they come from?
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, they just threw them out there because technically that was legal. Because you can't give away alcohol, but you have to sell it. But it doesn't mean they can't just find. Money? It was a grand opening thing. They weren't trying to make money the opening night. So
just bring people in.
Yeah, they were just trying to get people in and get things going, which was always a good idea for me. It's like if you're going to open a business, or even if you got to get your name out there, there is a point at which you're going to have to eat costs. Eat. Yeah. You're going to have to eat it. Advertising, all that, and just selling it for a dime, if you're going to get it out there and then slowly bring it up. But you got to get them. Well, even sometimes with beer, if you're trying to get out, you got to go low for a little bit. Then eventually you can ratchet up bring up your prices a little bit, but you got to undercut to try to find shelf space, to try to get into the bar, to get anywhere. You got to learn to bite cost for a while.
Well, I mean, if you believe in your stuff, though, it makes it a lot easier too. I mean, if you believe in what you're making, I mean, get people to taste it once, they're going to be a repeat. And that's the hardest part for a lot of those places is getting people to come back the second time.
Oh yeah.
I've seen a trend in breweries now. They're trying to do the specialties where they do limited quantities all the time.
Yeah.
And then they just become big, and so they can sell them for really high.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And they never meet that low point. They never start at that low point. They just have people that buy the beer. They're like, "Oh, I love this," and then they just keep doing small quantities of it. And
they can come for whatever they got. Then
and then it becomes like a cult. People are like, I'm dedicated to this.
Yeah. Well, that was the that started out with the really kind of the zombie dust marketing standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
was making the rarities. And in craft beer, it's been that way, but hyping up the rarities and keeping that rare market going. And I don't fall into it too much. I know other people who do. They love doing bottle trading, and there's a whole underground market of all that stuff, of guys who are trading beers like they trade baseball cards or the other it's just
it's too much money.
Subgenre.
I think it's too. I can't spend that much on a freaking beer. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just some of them are paying hundreds of bottles. $100 to get a bottle from California over here, and it's like we have great beer here. I don't want to spend that or trade. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite beer I ever had was a Weldworks coconut Medianoche. So it was like their version, of a really thick one. And I looked one time just to see resale, and it was the lowest one I could find was $169.
Yeah.
I was like, that is absolutely just asinine.
You know, beer you're gonna crack open, you're gonna drink
one
it
bottle.
Gone,
It's
you
not
know?
a bottle of wine.
You know,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Some
you-
beers,
one bottle.
Yeah.
Some beers
Yeah.
can last for a few years, shelf stable,
You
and
know.
they might get better. Might.
Yeah,
But they don't age the same way like wine does or scotch. You know, if I leave a bottle of scotch for 40 years,
Yeah.
it's still going to be scotch.
Right.
You know, it's and as long as it's obviously, you know.
I mean, I
kept
just
where
look at
should
it
be,
like, hey, I can pay $169 for this, or I can pay $20 for something that's pretty dang close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there, I
Yep.
mean, what the good ones there are, you know, some of them are, you know, a step up, but is it $100 step up? I
right.
mean,
Right.
no.
And
no, it's not.
how much?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's your.
I mean,
How much enjoyment are you getting out of that $169?
and we no,
Somebody.
I've paid some high ones, high in my opinion on Tavour.
I have.
But again, that's so I can try it. But
Right.
I don't think I've ever bought anything off Tavour that's $100. And for me, it's because I'm buying it because of the show to share.
Yeah.
Really quickly. It's not me hoarding it to then trade off to someone else. You know, it's
Well, and they might be trading it too.
Yeah, I bought the $30 those Anchorage stouts. I have.
Well, you always buy.
Yeah,
and they're,
I
but,
you
but
always
they're,
buy
but,
an
Anchorage
but they're
now.
amazing. And some of the bundles like this one, you know, the Dark Charge I believe was like $80 for a bundle, but it was all three of them. And that's not bad. It's not bad
For
at all.
3, you know, that's
And you can
still
and-
reasonable.
right? And it's you know some of these you know like
It's
the
a bomber
barrel
size.
you can
Yeah.
you can store these if you want. So you know
Yeah.
they're good. So I don't
Yeah.
mind that. But you know $100 for a 16-ounce can of something just to me it's just outrageous. Or
no.
So once it starts getting
$300
expensive,
for-
it's like, do I even drink this?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm almost
Yeah.
like. It's like I have
Yep.
a couple of those $50 ones from
Yeah.
Anchorage, and they're just sitting in my closet. And
I know it's
I'm
like
afraid to
when can
eat.
I open
is
this?
Is this the time? Is
Yeah.
it the right time? You know, is this special time enough? To,
Yeah.
You know, like, am I getting married? Kind of a special time.
Lucky for me, I'm a Lions fan, so like I have these bottles. Like as soon as the Lions win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna open these beers. So I'm gonna have these beers forever, right? So
Right.
I have a lot of very expensive beer that it's just sitting on the shelf and probably unfortunately.
Jared
sitting
Goff's
forever.
your quarterback now, right? So is he
Yeah.
the truth?
I think it's. I'm pretty excited actually. I'm excited about the coaching staff and I'm
Man,
actually
I
more
s-
excited
I've
than I
said-
have been in a
Well,
long
it's just
time.
another rebuilding year.
On paper, the Lions look good so often,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
something just goes wrong.
But,
The
but
Lions.
I'm excited about the coaching staff because there's fire in them, which they've never had. I mean, since I've been around, I mean, have never had what they have right now. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Skull Vikings.
To kind of go the opposite direction of what we were talking about, though, the cigars. I like what Cigar City's doing right now.
Really?
I just think they're pumping out beers, and I think their beers. I mean, compared to a lot of the mass-produced beers, I think they're.
I've only had a couple
yeah.
of
The
them.
High Life's all right.
I
But
don't, I
those
don't care for that
gumbo-
one. I think that's why
I don't
I haven't had a lot of them. I didn't care for that, so I've stayed away from them because everyone talks about that one. I didn't care for it, so I haven't had any other ones. I think I have. I forget. There's one. I know there's another one we had. I think
Yeah,
we had
they've
on
got
the show.
a few more, but
So I've been staying away from it. Maybe they have better beers that I'd like, but I didn't like that, so
You were talking about like keeping costs down
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
forth,
mhm.
and I mean for the
Yeah.
my thought is the quality you're getting for the price they're
It's a
giving
decent
and
quality.
how much they're distributing.
Oh, they're
distributing.
all over.
It's like
yeah.
you know,
it's a decent quality and stuff.
you know, it's like even Dogfish Head right now I'm drinking. It's like you know, is it just as good as that?
That's good.
Sure,
You
yeah.
know?
No, I mean, no, it's better than grabbing a whole 30 dirty 30 of a macro. So it's still good. They're still good. Cigar City. I don't know. I think I'm still. I probably got to get over it at some point. But I kind of got burned by Rheingeist. With all the hype on Rhein,
Jesus.
and all that came through with that, and I get a little leery now of when they're big distribution comes with a whole bunch of options, from out of
Oh,
town.
they have a million now
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
They,
like,
they teamed up with Oscar Blues. That's what they did.
Oh,
Oscar Blues had a bunch of extra.
Oh, really?
but I mean
brewing
the
equipment,
quality,
they-
but
they let
everybody,
people use it.
everybody's like, Rheingeist is awesome, and it's like, and we had a few, and I'm just like,
They're good.
yeah, they're all right.
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
one of them, what did Bubbles was fine? Maybe was that it? No, what was
don't
the
even.
Rose bubbles?
No, it wasn't
Don't
Bubbles.
even.
It's like the champagne. That should be called the champagne of beer.
Yeah. No,
what
it
it
wasn't
tastes like.
Bubbles. There was the first one that came
No,
out. I
there-
can't remember. It was all right, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. But I get a little leery. Like I said, I've had a few Cigar Cities. I worry about when they push that hard.
Yeah.
But again, it's still a good alternative. But we got a lot of alternatives in Indiana already that
Yeah.
that are fine with me.
I will
And
say.
then the Tavour beers fill in the gaps from getting stuff for me outside of India and all that. So.
I went to the tap house for Cigar City, and their beers don't blow you away. It's not like gonna be like I need to come back here,
but they're good. And
but they're tasty.
Yeah.
They're just tasty beers.
Sure.
So it's like I appreciate what they're doing and trying to push it out.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like their quality is really sacrificed. Like, for example, some of the northern Indiana beers that have started to distribute.
Too quick.
Yeah, a little too quick. They don't scale well.
Yeah.
So let's dig into this.
Did we get another one?
Yeah. Did we get another one? No, one beer tonight.
Yep, that's it. One beer, we're done.
We're going to a porter, and this is one of my favorite breweries right now.
Anchorage?
No, this is Adroit.
Shout out again to Anchorage.
Adroit Theory. These guys are absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
They're huge on hazies. Hazy's like their big thing. Hazy IPAs, and they're phenomenal. We haven't had one that we've even said it's okay. They've all been just like, holy shit, this is
Adroit
amazing.
Theory does great stuff.
So
they're on that par with Anchorage as far as just some of that outside beers that we get from Tavour that are just you see an Adroit Theory and an Anchorage.
I'm grabbing them, and Adroit has not let me down yet. And so this is their Black Celebration Imperial Porter, 9.99%. Black
9.99999.
Yep, 99. Black Salt Destruction. But which weird. I tried to look this up and I couldn't find anything on this beer, even on their site, which was odd.
But
it's a porter and it's a
fake.
What's a Ghost? What is that?
Ghost 944 canned on 1/6/21. So this is fresh.
Kind of smells pretzel-y almost.
Yeah.
And a little, almost a little sugar cookie-ish.
Why does it say Imperial Porter 666 DB?
I don't know.
666 Devil Beer?
Ah.
Blackstrap Maple Black Salt.
Perfect for Easter.
It's very loud.
Well, no, it's not a little B. So or it's not a little D. So it's not decibels.
Yeah.
You know a lot about decibels.
I do. I'm an audio guy. Come on, and
a
wireless guy, and a computer wireless guy,
Put two and two together.
and a computer wireless guy. So everything's in TV. All right. So that's Wait, what is? I can't figure out what the name is because it says like 8 different things on here. Give me that. What is Black Salt Destruction and Blackstrap Maple?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I think it's a series they did. I think there's different. I think it's a maple. I think there's something else. But I couldn't find much info on it on their site.
Well, let me professionally Google that for you. And
yeah, go for it.
I can't figure out what it tastes. I get the little coffee, I guess, but it's more
little coffee. But to me, it's almost more like a nice dry stout than a porter.
It's almost weird going from the last one we had because it was so sweet and like And this is
and
maybe
that's
exact
why
opposite
maybe
end.
I'm getting maybe I'm thinking stout because I'm getting more of that dry bitterness, which I love it.
Very low sweetness
love
too
it.
compared to the last one.
Yeah, it's a delicious.
More bitterness as well.
beer.
A little more bitter on the tongue.
Yep.
Yes.
You kind of get the hops a little bit. I feel like on the tongue. That's where you're talking about the bitterness. It's kind of the hops coming through.
To me, it's more like a nice dry stout than a porter. But it's I really enjoy it. I think it's delicious.
I think truthfully, if you poured some of that for somebody and didn't tell them what it was, they would think it was probably a stout.
Maple syrup, blackstrap molasses, and black lava salt.
The molasses! I bet that adds.
That's where you're getting it. If you're not, if you haven't had real molasses or anything, it's a hard one to. It confuses you if you're not familiar with the molasses.
I'm
flavor.
very confused.
I haven't had much molasses, so yeah.
We there was a pancake house down in Florida, and we took my nephew. The whole family went, but my nephew wanted to go, and because you can see the manatees and stuff too down there, and we go into the pancake house, order pancakes, and he does not notice that what he grabbed was a large bottle of molasses instead of syrup, so he just throws that on, and I'm just sitting back watching, going.
See,
because he bites into it, he's like, oh.
I grew up on molasses. That's all my dad ever had in the house.
Well, that's you were making moonshine too, weren't you?
I cannot comment on that part.
Logan's using sign language. Plug it in. Check your ears. I don't want everybody.
Do you want to use our beer to distill some alcohol out of it?
Push.
Since we're not going to be able to use it.
Push it up.
Our porter that doesn't have any carbonation. Took me a while to say that.
There you go.
Couldn't think of exactly what I wanted to say.
We got off topic. Sorry, we were doing sign language on the radio on the radio machine.
And we back. I haven't been confused by a beer in a while, and I'll be honest with you, this one's kind of thrown me off a little bit. I just can't figure it out. it's really good.
It
but
is.
like,
It's the coffee and molasses.
Well, and it's the name and the. I'm getting. It tastes like a stout to me. I think it's delicious. The name and the porter and.
Man, if they're using salt in it, it's almost like they're trying to go Goza on that.
You really don't.
You know, it's like a Goza porter.
Yeah, every time I drink it, I feel like I'm getting different tastes, and I can't just like pin what I'm tasting, which is also a great part of it.
Yeah,
because you're trying to figure it out, which makes you want to go back for more. But like, it's not like you're not just able to figure it out right off the bat.
But it's also not awful. It is. It is.
No, it's
good.
It's good.
I actually really like it.
Yeah,
It tastes like a nice traditional stout to me.
I chugged it pretty quick because it was tasting so good.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, is there another one in
It's
front
just
of
so
you?
bad. Yeah.
No, that's a different beer.
But I brought this one as well. It's the
we're
Black
gonna get
Fang
crack that one up next.
Illuminated Brew Works.
Nice. But yeah, Adroit Theory has never failed to impress so far.
Definitely you see them, grab them.
check them out.
Their hazies are
If you see Adroit or Anchorage on your Tavour app, you kind of just got to grab it. I don't care if you don't like that style at all.
Yeah.
Get it. It's get it because it's going to be again interesting. I think the salt adds a whole
I think
different-
it's doing more than you think.
brings out something else, and it balances out the
'Cause
molasses flavor.
Now I'm getting the more drinks I've had. I'm getting more of that saltiness left over. And
It's almost like
I agree.
the salted dark chocolate where like it brings it
right.
out.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. It's the
this is
or
wild to
salted
me.
caramel. I think that's because I think we've had a couple beers that had that salted kind of caramel flavor too, where the salt just you think it's wrong. And I'm not a big sweet and savory kind of guy, but you can do a little bit of that rock salt on straight up like candy and stuff like that, and it's great. It really.
I'm surprised more breweries don't
It packs a punch.
do it
without,
or at least state they do it.
Right.
there's evil in this can.
There is a whole lot of evil
Because
in that.
And
I mean, salt is always. I mean, notoriously in culinary, it's always been like this is how you taste the flavors.
Right.
You
It's,
just create it.
it's how you amplify it,
Yeah.
or even and that salt. In my mind, in my case, I don't like all things like super sweets, but if you add a little salt to it, just like that, it mellows the straight up sweetness of it, and I think that's how you can get the 10. They could probably go up a little even more on their ABV on it, and still.
I think they're going
be
for that
balanced.
999.
Yeah.
Which is
Or actually, if you turn it over, yes, I know it's like. I think it's that.
Yeah.
Well, we looked it up before, and I gotta look it up again. They have a ghost rate, something called ghost rating or something on these, and I think it's a batch. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, I think it's a batch number.
I wonder how often they really get 9.99% exactly.
Yeah,
true. But
that's very. I feel it unless they got the process down to.
They could water it down to
Again,
get to it too.
they're evil.
Exact
I mean,
science,
there's
but-
some. Yeah, there's some.
I mean, you could just add water at the end,
yeah, or just
Yeah,
not
but-
or just not carbonated.
or just not give a shit.
I wonder what this would taste like with that carbonation.
I really think this is like a 10.1%, and also screw you.
I can't let you guys live that one down. It's great.
Hey, like I said, a bit off. I tasted it before this, and it tasted great, but man, that flatness just is.
I told you, use it for cooking. It's time to just use it for cooking now, at least at that point. It's time to do that. Ghost is a numbering sequence for Adroit Theory. I'm not sure, but so they've got all kinds of numbering
I
sequences.
want more of that, but
I do too. Did you not bring another can?
no.
Oh, you suck.
Rookie move.
You only bought one?
Yep.
Was that $25?
No. I don't think any of the Adroits have been outrageous. They've all been really. I mean, I think.
I'm amazed at the consistency. I'm amazed at the consistency to be able to can that much that you can distribute out through Tavour and other things and keep that kind of flavor. And that's the part I love.
He knew what he was doing. He just didn't want to share anymore.
He brought the ones he didn't like as much.
I probably wouldn't doubt it because he knows.
Sharon.
I drank the other ones.
He only ever brings like one bottle of Anchorage, or one bottle of Adroit or anything like that. Yeah, he's pretty.
I mean, don't act like you wouldn't do the same.
They want me Anchorage.
Well, it's a little hard for
12
me.
ounces, and I'm not.
it was a little hard for me. You guys are in my garage.
If you guys keep inviting us, I will start bringing the better stuff.
Yeah, you're good.
The even better stuff. I have these rusty nails that I think they're called rusty nails.
Fremont?
And yes.
Yep.
I've had those in my closet for about 6 months right now. I have the 2018 or 2017, 18, and 19
Do you have
version.
clothes in your closet, or is it just beer?
He's
This is
got a
what?
big closet. You'd be surprised. He looks like a woman's closet.
So I have a
Except
Fremont.
there's just beer everywhere.
Huge and full.
I did bring a Fremont, but it's not the rust. It's the bee bomb.
The cinnamon one or
No, it's
the
not-
Beemont?
Yeah, and
It's like a
I've been
winter
getting
ale,
them.
isn't it?
We had the rusty nail. We did the rusty nail on the last show in South Bend.
Yep.
And Fremont's another their stouts, and I don't know what else they do, but their stouts and porters their stouts are just amazing. But that Dark Star series I think they do is awesome.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The rusty nail's been really good. But yeah, I got I think 13 through 20 now of the Dark Star series. Yeah.
Wow.
I always assume when it has the wax on top that it's gonna be good. So I usually keep it longer
Yeah,
than other ones that
We got to
aren't.
wax our porter.
It's not always true, but it's just like, oh, you took the time to dip it. I'll keep you a little
maybe
longer.
Yeah, that's just a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
It's not always better.
No, but those have been good.
It's not always better.
We
trust
did, we
me.
did open a wax one up in South Bend too. That we were like, I don't think we talked about it on the show because it was like, ew.
Yeah, it was a whole
Yeah,
lot
it
of
was
wow.
a-
This
it
was
was
this was all for nothing.
It was one of those 3-packs. We're like,
I think the Weldworks one I brought in the last show was that we were kind of like, this is syrupy.
Yeah.
it was a little
Yeah.
tight. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little thick.
I think so.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so disappointing.
But the one we had up in South Bend, I mean, I think we were literally trying to whittle away at the top of the wax because the wax was horribly done, and it just
I
took
figured,
forever to
maybe
get
they
it.
thought
It
they
took
got you-
forever to get into it.
I think that was the thing. Get you tired enough that it was just going to taste good once you actually got into it. Cause,
It was very unsatisfying.
or they
after.
never wanted you to taste it.
Yeah. Why is this one dipped in cement? Ooh, there's a good marketing ploy. It'll just dip the cap in cement and just give you a hammer and a chisel. Because it's special. You
How do
you
like
got to
your
try
beer?
everything.
Cold or
just in case
jackhammer?
the whole thing in it.
Yeah.
Just
There
just
you
put
go.
it all, dip it all the way into
Just
an concrete.
with just
and
the bottle cap hanging up the top, so you can pop it open, and it just looks like a cinder block.
they just give you a chisel with it.
You're onto something.
I'm gonna try that one. Yeah, there you go. I'll get one of my cinder blocks out
it's
there.
a
Just
ploy
put
to
a
get-
bottle in each hole, and then fill it up with cement and some rebar.
It's a ploy to get people back into archaeology.
Well, we want to keep you. We want to make you thirsty. If you, then the beer will seem more refreshing.
So
If
any
we just make it hard
archaeologists
to
making
get
beer out
to.
there you go. There's your point.
Dinosaur bone beer.
Yeah.
We put ground dinosaur bone, and we filtered it through ground dinosaur.
Maybe some arrowheads are in there if
messed up.
you're lucky.
People try all kinds of things. I mean, Jesus, have you seen all the vodkas out there? Oh, triple
my
distilled
God.
through diamonds and
Buttholes.
crap.
No,
and-
there's one that they say they've run down a woman's body and then bottled it. I swear to you, I'm
I'm
not
a little
messing with you.
concerned if
I'm
she's-
not messing with you.
That better be the richest woman in the world.
No, I swear to
Well-
you, it's like they run it down their body and then they bottle it, and it's like that's the biggest
Well,
marketing
didn't
ploy
they
I've
make
ever
a
heard of.
vagina beer? Did
Yes,
somebody
yeast.
make a vagina beer?
Yeah,
Yeast.
Yeah, the
The
yeah.
yeast.
We were talking about that.
Oh,
Yeah, who
so-
did that?
Talk about
Yeah.
weird.
Oh my god.
Well, because we talked about the ashtray beer from
Yeah.
but yeah, they made a.
It didn't smell great, but it tasted pretty good.
Wait, is that the salmon pants? That's in the. Is that the salmon pants? Oh wait, no.
Tad bit fishy.
The lacing is great. It sticks to the glass.
And here we are.
Clark's like, Grizz is like, I don't want a 16 ounce of that. Nope.
So we brought our amber last time that had the cinnamon in it, and this one had cinnamon.
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking maybe
Awesome.
we give
This-
that
Yeah.
another shot.
This is
Cinnamon
cinnamon?
beer again.
Which one's this?
Black
This is
Fang.
Black Fang Illuminated. We had Illuminated. We had something from Illuminated Beer Works, and I can't remember what the hell it was. It wasn't a stout. Have you had anything from these guys before?
So I'm trying to.
No.
These aren't they out of Chicago? Aren't they?
I don't know.
This is my second one of the two. You buy two.
It is
every
Chicago.
time.
Okay.
What was it? Illuminated what?
Illuminated Beer Brew Works.
Okay.
It's out of Chicago.
Yeah.
So this is stout with coffee, cocoa, and Vietnamese cinnamon. So
All right.
I'm usually a big fan of cinnamon, so.
So I'm
I
trying.
am if it's light.
Oh yeah, it's got to just be a touch.
Yeah.
I need to hire an intern because I need someone to go back through all the shows. I'm trying to work on a way to catalog because I got tired of doing Untapped. It wasn't a great way to track what we
Yeah.
do, and we're usually so in the moment on this. It's hard to write down. I need an intern basically.
What I like
to
what
do
it,
the
the best thing
basics.
for me with Untapped is you can click on there and see where it's available where you're at. If you're out
Right.
of town and say, hey, I want this beer, where's
But
it
as
at?
far as
It'll show you.
tracking and keeping a list of things we
Yeah,
had
it's a
so we
pain
could
in
look
the ass.
up, I'm trying to come up with a
Yeah.
better database because I was looking online for someone who, maybe came up with a database a little easier to track and also use on our webpage of things we've done a little more, and I'm still working on it because I'm not the best at web pages. So
Yeah, I think Hunter was going to do that for us like 8 years ago.
Hey, Hunter's supposed to be here to set up soon too. Love you, buddy.
He's getting ready for Roberto.
He's down in Florida. Berto's in Texas. But yeah, they were classic. It was a big long-running joke. They would always show up right after we had set up everything and then leave before, I mean, every time. God love you guys.
I think this needs to be warmer.
Was it too cold? Really? It's been sitting out, hasn't it?
I mean, I think there's gonna be. I think if it sits for a minute, it's gonna be better. I don't. I think.
Here,
It's
give me
I
the
did
good,
have it on
but
ice.
I think there's gonna be.
Here, hold on. There we go.
The cinnamon.
Oh, get out.
Sorry. Good thing we're not on video, huh?
I'm not
Yeah,
pulling
you
a lot
wouldn't
of
You
see-
mean too bad we're not on video?
You'd see my head shaking the entire time.
Oh, yeah. Give it a little thigh warm.
I just want people to know that I'm listening to them, regardless
Oh,
of
I know. It's great. No,
the
but
listeners know that I'm
But
listening
you,
to it.
so you said you were you were like super nervous on the last one. You're trying to be more relaxed on this one, and I'm like, you did great.
Yeah.
Everybody always feels all so weird on their first.
I
and
mean-
you guys did YouTube videos already. I'm like, why are you worried about a podcast? Nobody's
Exactly.
seeing you.
Well, the YouTube
I'd
videos,
be-
you can edit everything later. This is like, I mean,
We-
technically you can edit it, but
Yeah.
it's, I mean, it's all right there.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean you can do a retake and on
Right.
the YouTube and all that. I'd be more scared about the YouTube just because
I mean, to be honest, you guys just made it easy because you guys are really good at just making a conversation versus,
Yeah.
We try.
hey,
Yeah.
this is structured. Let me do this.
Yeah.
This,
We
this,
we
and
we,
this.
and
tro-
we- yeah.
we toyed with the
Yeah.
idea of doing a little more structure, which we probably should at some point.
Yeah, but
Some
we've
shows.
tried them, but then it's just you go off the rails. It's just more fun to just bullshit.
Yes.
So it's just
I hope
like,
so.
it's
Yeah.
just so. I mean, and they were
Agreed.
Everybody has said the same thing is that we like your show because it's just it's just more fun and laid back and there is
To me, it feels more real.
bunch of guys
Yeah.
getting
Yeah,
drunk.
just-
bullshit.
right.
I'm talking.
I think it's great to always have those in your head, but if it never gets there, then whatever.
Screw it.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
right, yeah.
You
Yeah, we
know?
try. Like
You know.
like last show we did in the garage. Poor guy had all kinds of notes, and I just derailed.
Finally. He's always
I
bitching about it.
derailed us.
Yeah.
I derailed us in 5 minutes with an entire show with a whole big story about my spa trip in China. So with my spa visit while I was in China. So, and it just went. Then we got 2 hours of really good show out of
never
it.
got back, but but that's what's fun.
But I
yeah,
felt
so-
bad because he's like, I took notes, mother.
Yeah, he's always bitching. Why you do notes? I'm like, I thought I had notes, but I never used them. Fucking bullshit.
my
Maybe
fault.
that's why he never does
Yeah,
notes.
it's my fault.
That's exactly.
Pretty much.
But no, it's just fun that way. I think.
Okay. I guess I haven't even tried this beer yet. I was. How are we? How are we looking?
Me either.
I
smell
think it's
pepper.
very good. It's
Is there pepper?
cinnamon, cocoa.
I think it's tough
Cinnamon,
because we've
cocoa,
just had
and
two bomb,
we're getting
Right
that.
here.
really good beers, and it's like
Coffee.
Your palate's almost getting still covered with those.
Yeah, yeah.
You almost need some water to
I
wash
say
it
we need-
away so
yeah,
you can taste
yeah.
it again.
I will say I like it, but not to the par of the last two, in my opinion.
Well, I don't, that's
I
why
think it needs
I
to
don't
be
know if
warmer.
it needs to be a little bit warmer.
Well, I'm
Because
leaving
I
it
think
sit.
there's flavors that
That could
are
be true.
coming out a little bit more and more as I'm drinking and as it sits in a little bit. But I think because that cinnamon is very light, which is good because when cinnamon's overpowering, it's too much.
I think that cinnamon's perfect.
Yeah,
Not too much.
Yeah, actually, that cinnamon kind of comes in the back. It's good. I mean,
that's one of my favorite things to add to coffee. So I mean, if you're gonna have a coffee
Me as
porter,
cinnamon,
you know,
really?
Me as
just
well.
a little bit.
yeah, whiskey. But it's good. I don't think these. Man, I'm.
I feel like we've been
perplexed on
getting
this one, too.
drier and drier.
Yeah, yeah.
Which isn't
Yeah.
bad, but it's changing
Thank you.
every single time. It's good. I would say for me it's good.
It's good.
It's
Yeah,
good.
I don't think this is knock your socks off.
Yeah. It's good. Nothing wrong with it.
But it's good.
All right, I got you. There's some water and palate cleanser, and I'm gonna cleanse my palate with some whiskey. Probably.
Did you
sometime.
look up Illuminate? Because I don't think they're even known for their I thought they did like some. I think they're more for their maybe like crazy flavored shit or something. I don't know.
For me, this kind of hits almost a little one note-ish compared to the other two, at least. But
Yeah.
the thing is, if we started with this, I think it'd be different. But the fact that we've gone from these other two that are
Right,
very
right.
deep
And that's what you gotta
complex,
watch out. Yeah.
Theirs is they're
but
just
if it was
known
on its own, it'd be different.
Yeah.
It's still a good
Yeah.
beer. It's a damn
Yeah.
good beer.
known for producing distinctly American interpretations of Franco-Belgian farmhouse styles.
There you go.
So
Okay.
that's what they're more known for.
Okay.
And I don't know that
Okay.
I want a farmhouse style.
Yeah, I don't get
Because
the
I-
farmhouse at all.
stout.
In it.
Well,
because
no,
I think we've had a couple from Lumina that we really enjoyed.
I swear, I don't know if my nose is messed up right now, but I get pepper smell out of it.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
I don't know if it's but
Yeah,
that just
I'm
may
there.
be because I mentioned it, but I get a pepper smell out of it. And I'm talking spicy pepper,
Yeah.
not
It
black
might be
pepper.
that Vietnamese cinnamon.
I guess.
I think it is a little more peppery of a cinnamon.
Yeah.
No, I'm with
versus
you on
a
that. There's almost
sweeter
there's like
cinnamon,
a
what most
savory
people are
scent to it.
thinking, yeah.
But even to me, I'm not getting the cinnamon like I got with your guys' cinnamon.
I'm not getting it
It's
either.
whatever that. I want to try. I want to smell. I gotta have to find some Vietnamese cinnamon because, again, it feels almost like a pepper beer. I just drank it. It feels like a slight peppered
Yeah.
beer.
I'm getting the cinnamon at the back end afterwards.
Yes, I get
a little bit
the
of
dryness
cinnamon,
of that cinnamon feeling, but
Yeah.
I get it's a very spicy, almost like the Serrano and Mexican
Yeah.
wedding cake
Yeah.
beer.
Yep.
The
Because
Mexican
I always think
spice
of
cake.
like, even for example, like a paprika, like Hungarian paprika versus a lot of what other paprika.
Call
it's like,
paprika, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Yeah.
Hungarian's
It's-
usually a little spicier
Yep.
and
Yeah.
bolder, and whereas the other paprikas is just kind of a
Color.
color. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Maybe a little sweeter and just color.
Yeah.
So maybe the Vietnamese is more peppery.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I wouldn't.
like-
I don't think it's one note. I think you can still. I think just the chocolate. They probably use more of a darker chocolate, and that's gonna kind of blend into the coffee flavor.
Well,
a lot.
like I said, I think it's just because we went from the last two.
I just Googled it.
Um,
yes.
Yeah.
Like
just
if we would have
Googled it.
started with it, it'd be different. Like it's a good beer, but like going from these last two that are a lot. I think it's because there was barrel aged, which adds a different level
Oh,
and
yeah.
other things.
Yeah.
So going into this from those is I think what's making me think that. But like, it's hard not to incorporate that after your tongue's already
Yeah.
coated in it.
Saigon cinnamon is intensely peppery and
There you
warm
go.
with a slight bitter note that can be unpleasant when the spice is used in excess. So
There
yes,
you go.
it is the straight up version, different using a different kind of cinnamon.
Nailed it.
Interesting. Yep. Awesome.
So
Good
Jaron
job,
is
guys.
the culinary
job,
master.
you
Yes,
of
basically
Wolfoose,
at
I
that
guess.
point. Look at that. Your wife must keep you in Whole Foods a lot, I guess.
Oh, I watch a lot of Food Network.
Oh hell yeah.
I love that.
We
network.
both do.
Yeah. You're like, what can I make a beer out of that? Or
It
will that
honestly
go good
helps
with
you
my
to
beer?
understand flavors,
Right.
which is what beer really is. If you're going to add all these different
I wouldn't say
stringents,
it's what it
too,
really is,
like
it's
you
what
need
it
to
is.
know what levels to add and all this.
Well, you need also too, and I think they make like kits, like even for like wine tasting and stuff, where they give you there's like kits of this smell and this smell, so you can actually understand and understand the difference. Because I have that problem. I don't necessarily know what this adds to it. I just know to add to it too. Like my mom, if I'm making a stew or whatever, well, throw a bay leaf in there. I'm like, why?
Like
I literally had that
I've never cooked. I've never cooked like side
at
by
Bourbon
side
Show?
on that. And I always
What's it taste like if I don't add bay leaf?
right, or
I have
What
no
if you
idea.
had 2 or 3?
right.
Is that going to change it?
I've never done any of that, and that
That stew had way too much bay leaf.
yeah, right. I've never heard anybody say that.
No.
Going, oh my god.
No, you
Dude,
usually
how
just
many bay
it's
leaves
just
did you
them
have?
taking
Bay
it out of their mouth, being like, "You didn't take out the bay leaf."
Half a leaf less,
I've had
please.
that happen.
I do that. That does happen a lot because I can't find it.
Yeah.
Until it's at the end and it's the last spoonful. Yeah, you're like, oh wait, that's great.
You got to know how much Limburger to add and when to
Into
add
your
it.
beer. Yeah, I mean, come on. What's
'Cause
what's beer like with Limburger and without? Oh wait, yeah. Did we? Oh, we talked about that before the show, didn't we?
Yeah, it was before.
yeah, but I mean,
So,
why?
so for those who don't know,
yeah,
Backstep put out, and we didn't get a chance to get up there because it was apparently out in a day, and I don't know how small a batch he did, but they have a great prickly pear goza. The prickly pear goza is
Yes.
great on its own.
Oh, yeah.
Great goza.
Yeah, awesome.
Love that. But they put out a limited edition prickly pear goza infused with Limburger cheese.
This is the first time I'm shaking my head left and right.
I just-
Yeah, we need a new GIF.
Mm.
But
Sounds
man,
Well,
Sounds
and
weird.
again,
sounds-
if it wasn't Backstep, I mean,
I'd have said
I
hell
may go,
yes.
but I think just because I know how how well they do and how much they care about what they're doing, I would go. They wouldn't put that out there, and so I'm like, fuck, we gotta try that, and goddamn it, we missed it, and
Yeah.
I'm pissed that I just seen that today because I'm like, man, I would definitely.
It would have been worth the drive, I think.
Just
Well, it's worth a try for sure.
I mean,
Worth the drive up there, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like we got the garlic beer. Well, but in Limburger, I mean,
Yeah.
holy shit, who thought of that?
She-
Why?
she-
What brought?
well, and they
who-
released it, so someone had to have at least approved
Who
it. Like
and
that it
how?
was
I
good
mean,
enough.
who thought of that? If that was Josh, I don't know. I don't know.
And who thinks
That's
of? I know. Again, I think it's we know beer cheese,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
cheese beer. And we know we've seen people throw whole pies into their beer.
Yeah.
Guardian.
Guardian does that great. Whole pies, just great mess and all that. But and BrewLink and everybody do awesome, strange, weird things. But I don't think I've ever seen a cheese beer.
No.
Let alone Limburger.
Paired with cheese, but
Sure, yes, you pair your cheese and beer together with a nice charcuterie plate.
they're like, oh, this
They
goes
wanna
well with
make your life
Limburger. Fuck
easier.
it, let's just put it in it.
Who needs a pair when you can
But
have
also,
both?
Limburger is one of those cheeses that not a lot of people have had.
It's awful.
Dirty foot.
And
No,
I don't think
yeah,
a
I
lot
mean,
of people like
yeah,
either.
yeah.
It's like a more intense.
It reminds
Blue
me of my
Cherry almost,
grandpa.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
Yeah, oh,
it
yeah.
smells
And
awful.
the smell is really, it's intense, but the taste,
Taste is
it's
fine.
really good. And the taste is much more mellow than
the smell
than
gets
the-
off. Yeah. My grandpa used to keep Limburger cheese in the fridge, and we'd always, he'd be like, "Go give me my cheese," and kind of like, "Go get me my cheese whiz, boy," kind of like, from
Yeah, we all had a grandpa that told us that. I get it.
Go get me my cheese whiz,
It was usually go give me my beer.
Well, no, I was
You're the youngest.
Blues Brothers, but it was basically go give me my cheese, but it'd be Limburger, and we'd have to open it up and just be like, "Oh, here you go, Grandpa. That smells awful." But he'd eat that just on crackers.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God, it's awful."
The upper Midwest, the Minnesota and Wisconsin, they do some weird stuff. They eat lutefisk there. And,
Oh, yeah.
and
That stuff's pretty
smelly
awful.
footy cheese.
Pig balls.
That's why nobody likes
It
it.
was? What?
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't hear what you said.
Pig
so-
balls. They let their kids drink in the bar.
Speaking of what, well, yeah, you
They
can
do,
drink in the
yeah,
bar
they
when
do,
you're
they do.
14.
Yeah.
It's great.
As long as your parents are there.
But only up until you're 18. From 18 to
Yeah,
21,
then
you can't
drink
go.
anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was mainly from 18 to 21.
Kids
No.
only, please.
No.
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 Once you turn 18, I think it was, once you turn 18, no.
Yeah.
From
You're
18
in
to
college.
21,
Just
no.
go break rules now.
Yeah. go
Going
do
to
it,
jail.
Go do it illegally like the rest of
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else. What the hell? Grizz, how were you on this? I didn't hear. Did Grizz say anything on the cinnamon
He
beer?
wants bourbon.
He wants to switch to bourbon.
What's your favorite bourbon right now?
All of them.
Yeah.
Give him one.
He likes apple pucker.
He's his Fireball man. He drinks
Big
Fireball
peanut
like
butter
crazy.
whiskey guy?
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God. Oh, that stuff's so awful.
I've been drinking a lot of rye whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. I think I've got 3 different.
Have you tried Michter?
No, I have not.
I've heard good things about the rye Michter.
Yeah,
bourbon.
it's good. Yeah, very good.
I've never tried it.
Yeah.
Well, should have known you tried it.
Well,
Yeah, I mean it's good stuff.
have you seen his liquor cabinet?
No, I haven't.
It's huge.
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 With lots of bourbon.
It's so big.
Billions and billions
It's like
of
the
bourbon.
biggest thing
it's like
ever.
the biggest ever.
Like the biggest of the
You
most
wouldn't believe.
bestest.
On a different-
I don't know where we're going on this. You want to take a quick break and grab another beer at some point?
Yeah,
Grab
we
some
need
food?
to. We got.
Throw in some sliders?
We got KBS in front of us, and
Mm.
Yeah.
we got other darks. Yeah, let's take a quick break, and yeah.
We'll be right back. Cheers.
Yeah.
Blind Pig Confessions is the greatest podcast there ever was. My name is Dave Smiley from WZPL, and if you don't listen to this show, you're dumb.
All right, back and we had to get some food because it's what we do. Logan's sign languaging again. It's not doing well.
Jared got a beer out and he poured one.
And one for himself.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I
After
cleared
Brendan
out
literally
one of
poured
mine.
everybody beer for.
I didn't want to
every
waste
beer we
plastic
had.
cups, guys. I'm trying to be.
Let me pour myself
we have
one.
these are dollar. It's all right. They're dollar store plastic samplers. That's okay. We got plenty.
Save the turtles.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Sometimes I do try to wash them, but then I realized no, I don't want to.
Yeah, no. They're yeah.
I should just get. I guess I should get the paper ones or something. But those are like the little ones you get. That for your. The bathroom Dixie cups, and there's not much room in those. Perfecto. All right, what are we doing here? Oh, I got 2. What do I get 2 for?
I think one of those is Grizz.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
That's rude.
Double fisting, are we?
Grizz kept passing one
Yep.
down.
That's what you like, doesn't it? Double fisting.
Well, yeah.
All right, there you go.
It smells kind of like sweet corn.
So we're taking a quick break from our Jaron just curled his nose up at it though. So we're jumping away from our ports and stouters, stouts and porters.
This cream corn tastes like cream crab.
Because we got a little cheese. Dougie Fresh brought out a little cheese plate. I think it's got some
sliders in the oven.
Guinness sliders in the oven. Sweet.
But yeah, actually this is perfect because there's actually some chili cheese beer, and that would go good, I think, with this lager. It's
So what is this one? Was this a McKellar?
Somebody read.
It's called the Tripper Bacher by McKellar. It's a
It
lager
smells sweet.
brewed with
stouter
raspberries, and then it's also aged in bourbon barrels.
I smell the bourbon.
I can smell that bourbon. I smell raspberry. I smell bourbon raspberry.
I'm telling you,
Tripper
I get sweet
Bacher,
corn.
is
It
that
smells
sounds
sweet
like
corn
it
to
should
me.
be made with some magic mushrooms.
I wish it was.
Right? Little Tripper Bacher. Little
Or maybe I was on some mushrooms while I
cybobacillin
drank
or
it.
whatever. What's the one they're legalizing or whatever? Aren't they legalizing?
Psilocybin.
That's what it is. So I'm waiting to see the beers that come
I've just
out.
heard from people that's what it's called.
I'm wait. Yeah, I bet.
That's just the chemical that's in the mushrooms.
I'm waiting to see what beers come out with that. And, they come out with some of those beers. That'd be interesting.
Hell yeah.
Little magic mushroom beers, like they did with the wee beers.
Yeah.
Over in the legal places.
I hope. 'Cause
There's
the
one
mushrooms
I've been
over
trying to get a hold of, but it's only in the West Coast, really.
Yeah, which one?
It's called Can, CANN.
All right.
It's limited too. They're going for the market of people that want to drink socially, but then, they don't want to drink alcohol, so they drink. It's like 3 milligrams of
weed beer. It's a
THC.
weed non-alcoholic beer.
and it's got some CBD into it.
Oh,
too.
okay.
So
I
CBD
gotcha.
and a little THC, but it's not a lot, so you could drink socially while you do it, and you're not going to get messed
sweet.
up.
Can, that's what it
CANN.
Interesting.
Not a sponsor.
It's also good to know that this is a lager, and
Everybody likes a
wow,
sweet
it
can.
tastes really
It
more
smells
ale-ish
awfully
than-
sweet.
Yeah, it does smell.
That
it
raspberry
is
is
sweet.
coming through
It's very
real
sweet.
hard.
But I'm also, personally, this is probably my favorite we've had for me. I'm a huge fan of this one. It's very sweet, very raspberry, but
You know what this
light
feels?
and
You know
different.
what this kind of feels like? Like a KBS mixed with a little bit of rubaeus.
You know what? Now that you
sweet
say
flavor?
that, I can fully see it.
A little bit, but
Have you had the chocolate covered raspberries? That's kind of what it reminds me of.
yeah.
Yes, and that's what we were talking about. So Logan brought a KBS.
Yeah.
But he had not, and we worked. Did a show with Adam Lepper, used to work at Founders, and he actually had rubaeus, and it's surprisingly you don't mixing beers is kind of doesn't always work, but the rubaeus is a great mixer, and if you mix it with about 50-50 on KBS, I think it was,
50-50.
it makes a chocolate raspberry.
Yeah.
And then you can mix it with their all day IPA, about 25-75, and it just makes it produces a wholly awesome different beer.
Yeah.
The rubaeus is tough by itself because it's a lot.
Yes,
I mean,
it's
the
sweet.
amount
Yeah,
of
it's
raspberries
sweet.
that are in that, it is
Very, very
raspberry.
fruity.
Yeah.
But it is a good mixer with some of these other heavier, high grav beers to give that super raspberry chocolate flavor.
I think this is kind of refreshing because it does have that higher acidity where we've been drinking
Yeah.
a lot of the
Yeah.
heavier,
Yep.
darker chocolate, and you kind of refreshing a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's one it definitely like a taster is about all you need.
Yeah.
But like, man, it's for me, it's hitting the spot.
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's
it's great.
a
It's
really
actually
good
it's
change of
really
pace.
good. I like it's that you get the sweet, but then the bourbon, that really cuts in. So it's not syrupy whatsoever. Sticky. It's
You know
but
what I
it's
think's
sweet
helping?
and chocolatey and
The fact that we had this fig bourbon right when we were in
Oh.
between,
Yeah.
I think
The
is
fig
literally
whiskey.
kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
playing with it.
Yeah, thank
like
you,
it's
Journeyman.
playing right with it.
yeah, that could be.
Yeah, so while we were off the air, we introduced, because I do this a lot, because we love it, that we introduced the Wolfoose boys to the Field Rye from Journeyman, which is just a rye whiskey, and it's slightly sweetened with fig, and it's just a phenomenal freaking
It's
whiskey.
reminding me of that bourbon.
I will
honestly.
be
Yeah, I
going
think
and
they really
buying me
works.
a bottle of
It-
that.
I
It
can't believe
honestly-
Clark hasn't had it. I honestly, I thought we'd had it. We'd given it to Grizz before.
If you have, I sure as hell don't
I
remember.
don't think so.
I guess. Well, yeah. Surprisingly, because I thought Cowboy had it too. I thought
I've-
Cowboy.
yeah.
I've drank a lot.
Int-
I think it's
Introduced
just us keep drinking it, and
Yeah.
we keep buying it and drinking it. So-
It's
but
it's got a high price.
I-
It's
I
got a bit of a
usually-
high price point, but
But it's delicious. I
But it's
usually
worth
turn my
that
nose
price
up.
point.
Any
You
whiskey
get
and
what you
bourbon,
pay for.
when you put flavor into it, I usually turn my nose up. and I
right,
don't like
flavored whiskeys.
it.
You're like,
it's liqueur, it's not whiskey. But
Exactly.
But this is just done so well that it's oh man,
yeah,
it's
sweet.
delicious.
It's sweetened, slightly sweetened with fig.
But it's
so-
bourbon. I mean, it's bourbon.
It
but
is
you
a
get
bourbon.
that. You just that.
You still got some, right, Clark? Is it like if you like went back to the whiskey, does it actually play pretty well? 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I ran out, but I feel like
I've been
it's
going back
almost
and forth
hand in
because it actually works. Yeah.
I got to be careful,
We
man.
never
I
run
got
out.
to drive. I got to drive.
We never run out.
Yeah.
I wonder, since
Right? I
McKellar
feel
is so
like
good
that's
at
pretty
making
close.
the pretty good
I think
stouts and porters, maybe they just used the same recipe and then just made it with a lager yeast instead. Would that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then barrel aged
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's just
Grizz
do
looks
that.
like he's about ready to mix his
Just do it, man.
McKellar with
Just
the
do it.
with the
Just
field
do
rye.
it.
That actually tasted real good.
Yeah, I believe it.
Well, with the fig and the raspberry and the
All right, I'm gonna
cheese,
take
you're on
little
you're on a
bit.
super
I gotta
fruit
try
note.
it. Just a
Go
little-
ahead, man.
little taste.
Go. I share that shit freely.
This is 11-2. Yeah, this is really
I
good.
mean, I don't know if it's still. I don't know if it's limited or they're going to keep going. I keep finding bottles, so
I heard it was limited, but yeah,
keep-
I
I find bottles at cons, and that's where I've been going
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
When
And
I bought this, I honestly thought it was a stout. I didn't even
Oh,
read
I
it.
mean,
was
together
just-
those
I
are
saw
incredible.
McKellar, and I was
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
that
they
is
have
incredible.
that barrel series. I thought they were all stouts too. I didn't know
Yeah.
they did any lagers.
Jaron, try that side by side.
I don't remember when was the last barrel aged lager we've ever had.
It's
It's not a common one.
No,
No,
You only ever hear of a barrel aged, stout or.
we did have because we were talking.
That's
we
wild.
did have a barrel
now you
aged
see
one.
why I was going like this.
But
He's
you don't-
just
but you don't-
staring.
Yeah, but you don't commonly barrel age a lager.
No,
I mean, I'll be honest. This
you
is my
don't, you
first
don't.
time ever having this dark of a lager ever. Like,
Oh,
I've
yeah,
never,
it's super
I've
dark.
Never had this.
Yeah, I've had dark lagers, but they still taste like light lagers.
Well, I don't know about how Jaron is, but like for me, there's a lot of times if I even see lager, I almost avoid it because for me, you associate it with the macros.
Not anymore. I don't.
See, I still do. Like, if they say, if it says Dunkel or says something else where it's a different name for lager,
Yeah.
then sure. But if it actually says lager on it, a lot of times, I mean, whether it's subconscious or not, you kind of associate it with a lighter tasting, non-flavored beer. But if it's like Dunkel or any of those
yeah,
other
I've been
ones,
excited lately because for so long we had this, the big, rush of everybody doing IPAs.
Yep.
It was so nice to see people doing lagers again because
Yeah,
I do
craft
love
lagers.
lagers. Just the traditional beers.
And-
I
and
love
the-
lager. I mean, so yeah, it was.
The ability to be able to do it because it's a hard process and to get
Yep.
right and everything and the ability to be able to do it has gotten much more mainstream and the equipment and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's not just for the macros anymore. You can a smaller organization can lager.
Well-
It just takes time and understanding of how that works.
And if you look into it, it's actually there's a lot of brewers who are actually the biggest appreciators of lagers because of the time and effort it takes to get such a clean tasting, but still having taste beer. That like compared to an ale where you can let it, it might take 2 weeks. Where a lager is going to take longer. You have to have more care, and you got to really take care of it to get that exact flavor you're looking for.
Yeah.
So like, it's hard for the layman
Yeah.
to fully appreciate a lager because it might have a lighter taste or crisper, or it has that
It also takes.
I still don't fully appreciate it.
It takes
I don't.
patience.
it takes a lot of patience.
It's because it takes patience.
It is very hard to do. Like it's very, very easy to mess up a lager, which can be. I mean, I've never.
And
had
now
a
you
bad
waste-
one, but
and now you
it's
wasted it.
It's terrible. It's
Yeah,
wasted.
and you wasted a whole bunch of time and energy where most people can crank out an IPA without a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, 100%.
Boom, done.
Well, you got room temperature. You put a lot of hops in, where it's like you get a lager. It's like you got to keep it cold.
Right.
You got to hop it right.
Was it
You
the
gotta-
bottom yeast?
No,
Top.
Top feeding
Top.
yeast. Yeah, that's right.
top
sorry.
yeast, so it takes a lot longer, and it's like you got to hop it right. But then, I mean, the biggest thing, at least,
It's also
especially for
usually
us, we're
colder
like,
too, right? That's what another thing.
Yeah, 'cause
is.
you gotta keep that
It's
chill.
much colder.
yeah, you have to. Well, that's the thing. Lager
It's
yeast.
not like you doing a homebrew, like you can just leave it in your living room because it's 67 degrees in your house.
Exactly.
You got to do it like 50 something.
You have to have it, but
Yeah,
but
low 50s.
But you can get an extra fridge and with temperature
exactly.
controls
Yes.
and all that. So again,
Yeah.
it's more
More care,
possible
yeah.
for people to do it now because the technology is there to regulate temperature and all that. But you have to have that patience and that desire to try it.
Yeah.
And people are much more willing to try that now, not just So it's something.
And to have the patience to do it.
Right, yeah. And that's the hard part. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to take 4 weeks or something.
Yeah, and again, if you talk to the layman, a lot of people don't know that there's ale yeast and there's lager yeast.
Right.
They just think it's like any other type of beer.
Yeah.
But it's completely different. Like porters use the same as IPAs, which can blow people's minds. But like when it comes to an IPA versus an actual lager, well, that's completely
Well, you have to have the yeast
Different.
that can handle the cold temperatures to actually and still work.
yeah, exactly,
And that's also why it tastes longer because it's working at a lower
and makes
temperature.
it cleaner.
Yeah.
A good clean taste.
Yeah. It ain't Fleischmann's, people. You're not getting your yeast for your beer at Kroger.
Yep.
Sorry, it's just not happening. You could try it, but all you're going to get is bread at that point.
It does kind of blow your mind, though, how a lot of people, if they're not beer people, you don't understand that. Like, you don't know the difference. It's just like you hear Kolsch or anything else, you think it's all the same type of yeast. It's just what you brew it with. But it's the yeast. The biggest thing I've learned.
I don't mind a good Kolsch in the summertime.
I wouldn't either. I just haven't had one.
At least from homebrewing, the biggest thing I have found that people don't understand is how much yeast play into the flavor of a beer.
Yes.
They think it's everything else, but like the yeast determines, in my opinion, 80 to 90% of the actual flavor.
It's the same thing with distilling too, with the
Yes.
different yeast.
Yes.
Food's done. Sorry, I was trying to sign language, but then I just had to yell at Dougie and say, "Food's done." Do you want us to break, or do you want to just go get food? No, all right. But yeah, no, and we've talked about we talk about it in a lot of our shows. It's the yeast is strictly, even if you look at the macros though. I mean, if you because we as a group used to go up to the Miller Brewing House, and that would be our first stop before we went for like a week up in Wisconsin at a cabin on a lake with Jordan and some of some of the members, and even they, he's got a yeast that he kept from the olden days, and that makes it completely different. Trappist monks have their yeast that they've been cultivating for God knows how long. Everybody's got a yeast that has a flavor to it, and right hand side of the oven drawer, the cooktop. Yeah,
he'll get it. And that is a middle finger.
All my oven mitts have one finger in them. That's it.
That's it. That's how you grab things out of the oven.
Well, I couldn't believe when I talked to even Charlie Wood, who's one of the co-owners of Grand Junction up in Westfield.
Yep.
That he told me that they have a company where they send their yeast, at the like third or fourth stage, which is usually the best, and they send it to a company, and then they cultivate it for them, and then that way they can have the exact yeast every single time for that beer. And I didn't even know that existed, and that blew my mind.
So we talked a little off the mic about BriarScratch. They actually cultivate their own from the briar around there. So they do. There's a company also out that does. There's a company that has kits, and you can just try to you gather some yeast of your own. Bootleg Biology. Bootleg Biology.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, these guys gathered just yeast from everywhere and cultivated their own BriarScratch yeast from the holler. And so it's amazing people can do that now, and you've got kits you can do and try to gather all your own yeast, and from vaginas to hollers.
I was about to say.
I was waiting for
which might be the same thing depending on how big the vagina is.
Or if Pat's already been there.
Right, see? Exactly.
He has that additional yeast in there.
No, just the additional expansion of the holler. I can't. Well, we embarrassed Logan. That's great.
I'm not embarrassed. I just have nothing to say. I'm just throwing off.
He was imagining
I'm
what
almost
you just
crying.
said. He was imagining it.
I am hard imagining.
Don't say that wrong, Chris.
Hard.
There's an echo in here.
What?
Hello. Oh my God.
Sorry we got off track there, but yeah. The yeast is important, man. I don't think people understand that. It's
There's a lot of classes you can go to that where they do I saw there's a cider class recently that they did the same cider base and then put 5 different yeasts in them, and then you could come back 2 weeks later and try them all, and it's unbelievable.
You'd be amazed, and it's great. And that's the whole. It's still an art of cooking. It's still just it's cooking.
Yes.
It's ingredients here, and it's this there, time, the different ingredients, and it's still all culinary in a way.
Well, and a big thing for us when it comes back to like the home brewing style, one of our biggest, I won't say arguments, but our back and forth, we're about to start brewing a new one, a wheat beer, and we're like, well, what kind of yeast should we use? Should we use a clean one? And we're going to try it out, like to do like a wheat sort of pale, like, a nice wheat pale, but use a Belgian yeast, because let's give it a shot with a different one instead of making something that goes along with it. But like, otherwise, everything else we're doing is going to be pretty almost standard, but like, hey, let's try it with a different yeast, which plays, again, the biggest difference from one beer to another. Like, using those exact same ingredients, if we just use the same one we used for Wolf Moon, it would probably taste pretty dang similar. But you try it with the Belgian yeast. I mean,
again, I still, we talk about beer and the craft beer, we still haven't found everything. I mean,
not even.
There's so much to do, and I go back as being a bourbon lover. I still think they're strapped as to what they can do without doing the stupid flavored bullshit. But I mean, with beer, there's still so much.
Oh, there's tons.
What you can do with, again, the yeast and the hops and
when you start adding those astringents in and stuff, it's
right?
like
And where to put that, and there's still
you're
we
endless.
keep developing more hops. I mean, it's just amazing. So there's still a wide open book for craft beer and what you can do with it. And so it's just amazing.
And I think that's been great because once you break, free of the shackles of the old school, rigid rules that were there before. The rules from the German beer.
German
Everything
law.
was a Pilsner. It was a lager. These were the rules. This is beer. This is what beer is. And once you were able to break free from those shackles, the creativity just goes off the charts.
I still do love those traditional.
I still do too because they're freaking
traditional
awesome,
beers,
and there's a reason they're awesome.
I can't say that enough. I think one of the it's great to learn styles, to learn the styles, but for me, it's one of the biggest thing that holds at least home brewers or people back is like, hey, there's this style, and here's how you do it.
Right.
Well, who's to say if I make this beer that's mixing all these different things that it's not a great beer? Maybe it doesn't fit a style. That doesn't make it bad. That doesn't make it off flavors. That doesn't make it this.
Doesn't mean
it
you can
makes
enter
it its own thing. And I think those styles can really, again, for homebrewers, they have their place and they have their great, and it's great to follow and learn to do because that's where you learn the basics. But that limits you so much.
It also depends on your goal, though. If your goal is to win some awards and stuff, you got to follow GJCP, rules. Now their rules have gotten very gray over the time because when we were hosting that Indiana Brewers Cup, we kept reading off. We're like, damn, that's a lot of options under that one category
now too.
There's a lot of subcategories.
Yeah.
Like NEPA was not even a category.
Well, there's a lot of people that were mad about that would even be considered a new style.
And now that's starting. They're not hearing as much now because now there's
because
they realize how freaking good they are.
Yeah, 2 years ago they were still. You'd ask a brewer and they're like, don't.
I mean, heck, look at the last beer we just drank. It was a lager that was barrel aged with raspberries. I mean, that category in itself is very obscure. I mean, that is not one that's very well ventured.
I'm curious if they lagered it in the barrel, in the fridge, or was it already a lager and then they threw it into the barrel but did they still have to refrigerate the barrel?
See, I
believe it said.
Oh, go ahead.
I believe it said brewed with. I thought the raspberries were.
No, the barrel aged part.
The barrel aged was. Oh, that.
But did you do you have it? Is it a finished lager beer and then you put it in the barrel and then do you have to keep the barrel cold too? To keep it a lager?
I would assume it was done just because if it has the alcohol, that'll help make the germs not get into it.
But I'm just curious. I'm curious about the lager part.
McKellar
I
is
think you would
also
have to do that afterward. You'd have to barrel age it after.
Right, but do you also have to keep the barrel chill?
I
You have
would
to put
think
it back.
so.
You have to keep the barrel in the
that's a good
fridge
question.
because
Yeah,
it's a
I would-
lager. You don't want to get it warm.
Right, I
You
would
don't
think
necessarily
you-
want to get it
Right,
warm
I would think. I mean,
until
I would
it's ready to
assume
bottle.
you would have to, but yeah.
Until it's ready to bottle, you don't want to let it get warm again. It's a lager. You
No,
question.
ask
Gotta
But
me.
I
do
don't
your
think
thing.
I don't think that would affect the flavor though, because if you've ever heard
the
like
yeast is still in it unless they filter
what
the
do they
yeast
say?
out.
Like if people always like, oh, my beer got really hot, it's skunked now. No, it's
Yeah.
it's sunlight.
It's when
that
you do it,
affects
and it's
right?
when you do it several
So
times.
it's like if your beer's already lagered, it's went through its fermenting process and it's
Okay.
went through all that, it probably would be okay.
Right.
Just in a
Like,
regular barrel, not
think
not
so.
in the fridge barrel.
I mean,
the
that's my
yeast was-
thought. Yes.
If the yeast
It's
was
like, my
still
beer's
in
skunked.
it,
No, it's
'Cause
Budweiser. It's just bad beer.
You're also if you make those barrels colder, they're gonna get probably a little
Actually,
tighter.
the pores in the wood
might
close.
less, yeah.
Well, that's what.
Are we still talking about vaginas?
Yes. When they get colder, they close up.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're not going to have as much of that bourbon come out of it.
well, then that's what I'm saying. I just don't know because I haven't
I think that's a
researched
great
the
question.
You guys should have
barrel
McKellar
aging
on
a lager.
One of your
Yeah, that's yeah.
show McKellar on.
Let's call McKellar.
Yeah, let's
Call
just
him
call
up.
him up.
Yeah. Hey, CEO.
Beep, boop, beep, 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 beep. Well, we'll get Jeremy. Jeremy will set us up.
No, but again, circling back, that has been a big opinion of mine, especially why we did that amber that had the cinnamon stuff. Did we need to do that? No. But like in my opinion, it was doing it honestly to say, kind of fuck you to the man.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, does this fit in a style? No, because I don't need to. The question for me comes down to, do you enjoy it or do you not?
That's fine.
And if you, there are the awards and everything else, which are great, and you got to follow. I mean, it's all that. But for me, it always comes down to, does it taste good or does it not? And because that's what makes a good beer.
Sure.
If you enjoy it, that's a good beer.
I think that's where the creativity comes into is those
And it
simpler
should.
beers where you want to add those flavors in to kind of add a more depth to it, because you don't have the
Nipas.
Nipas. Yeah, nipples.
Nipples.
I was thinking about nipples. Yeah, Nipas. They have
lot of
all
women's
of those
fights.
different hops coming in, and those are the flavor, right?
Yeah.
And they bring bold flavors. But
Oh, yeah.
you know, when you get into like the ambers, the dunkels, and all that, it's like you have a great base of malt, but there's not. It's almost like after that, it's like, what else is there?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
definitely. Yeah.
Sometimes you want to add that a little extra kick.
Sure.
And maybe cinnamon's not it, but you know that's maybe the
But it was
cheese
a try.
is.
You know, maybe Limburger cheese is
It's an experiment.
Yes.
Experiment.
Can I order that Limburger Dunkel, please? That would be great.
Or like we talked off mic, the BLT Dunkel.
Oh, the
you go.
BLT Dunkel. Yes, there you go.
If you could somehow do it, please let me know.
Well, dude, Manahan did a sushi beer, and god damn if it didn't taste like sushi.
Yeah. He did it with Taze, didn't he?
think
Was
so, yeah, I think that was
copacetic
Taze River.
I think? Yeah.
Yeah, because it was mostly like rice hulls and stuff, but
But
it tasted
did
like
taste
a
like
California roll,
You
man.
guys got some crazy experience in beers,
Oh,
man.
Yeah, we do.
Well,
I love it though. I love trying.
Well,
those.
heck yeah. And that's the best part is that they are all still considered beers.
Yeah.
Like you have the
And then,
sushi.
you know,
you
a lot
got
of those
all the way
I'm
to-
gonna drink. Even 5-6 ounces is enough. It's cool.
Yeah,
I was like,
heck
fuck,
yeah.
that's awesome. That's
But it's
cool as shit.
cool.
Well, saying that, guys,
Yeah.
then you guys should drink. You should drink
He's
this.
still trying to get rid of that thing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is awful. Drink it.
Clark looks excited.
What is this one? Oh, this is the Trapper P13 blueberry lemon crumb cake. Oh, we're gonna go back to
This
an
is the
imperial
quote
stout.
unquote. I don't like this. You drink it.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna come back, get the sliders, and then we'll finish out with this one maybe.
No,
Keep
no,
going.
no.
No, we're gonna start the next show.
We
with
have the
that one.
KBS
yeah.
as well if we want to finish on that. Just
Don't
to end on a-
don't finish
Well,
on
I mean,
something
we-
like that.
Do we want to just close this one out?
Yeah,
We'll,
'cause we got-
see you guys again another time.
Yep, we got a new show, so we'll start that one with the new show there.
We'll try that later.
Yeah.
All right, or maybe not.
Well, hey, thanks for having us on again.
Yes.
This has been
Cheers,
great.
man.
Great
We love
time,
it.
guys. Love seeing
This
you
was
guys.
awesome.
Welcome to the Blind Pig Garage. Blind Pig Patio will be open again in a few weeks, and this is where we do what we do. All right.
Yeah. Cheers.
We do what we do.
Just go. Yeah. Cheers.